All right. Looks like we are live. Day 360 of going live. Let's see. We're in business. Check my mic. All right. Great. We are here. 1701 Avenue I, 35218. This is a little bit northwest of Birmingham. I have a property in Fairfield, so not too far away. So this property, I found that looks like it was recently renovated. I mean, the photos are a little dark. I wish they would have made it a little bit more bright in the photos. I mean, they literally have stuff laying on the floor, but let's go ahead and analyze this deal. Let's see. Right off thing, nearly complete stats. I guess it's not fully complete. Maybe they just wanted to show it earlier. It's been on the market for 20 days. All right. 1,509 square feet, 4 bed, 2 bath. So I like properties with 2 bathrooms. I think they rent a little bit more easily. So let's go ahead and get our rent. So the first thing you want to do is look up what county this property is in, right? And we want to get the FMR, or the fair market rents, which is the rent ceiling that you can apply towards this place. Now, when you go to and you find a county, you're going to Google HUD FMR, okay? HUD FMR stands for fair market rents. When you click on the first link, you can come down here and click on access small area FMRs, look up FY 2025, small area FMRs. You're going to click on Alabama, and then you're going to go click on Jefferson County. And now you're going to get by bedroom count, by zip code, what your rent ceiling is. And this is 35218. So you're going to see that the rent ceiling for 35218 in the zip code, 35218, the rent ceiling is going to be $1,580 for a 4-bed and $1,420 for a 3-bed. Let's write down $1,580, $1,420. Right, that's the same thing as the other one, 35218. So there's a little bit of correlation in this area. 35218 and 35218. And the reason I'm writing down these numbers because my partners already know how I analyze deals. So this is the fastest way for them to double check my work and understand where the numbers came from. Obviously, this is not investment advice. I'm not soliciting any investments on this call. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and look up the market rent. To get the market rent, you have to go to affordablehousing.com, go to the owner section, go to the market rent estimator, plug in the address, plug in the bedroom count, and the most important number is going to be this number right here, where it says that for 25 units within a 2.07 mile radius, the average rent is $1,348. So let's write that one down. $1,348, $1,924, $1,395, and $1,361. Okay. Now that you got these rents in here, the reason why you got to use $1,350 as a rent estimate and not $1,580 is because of a couple of things. One is this $1,580 is a ceiling rent. That's max rent, but it also includes things such as utilities. So if you don't provide or cover utilities as your monthly rent income, you have to deduct utility allowances. But really, there's also another test. It's called the rent reasonableness test. And in the rent reasonableness test, let me kind of pull this up for you, right? The rent reasonableness test is if you look at the Housing Choice Voucher Program Guidebook, HCV. And HCV is what's previously known as the Section 8 voucher. They rebranded from Section 8 to Housing Choice Voucher because of all the negative connotation that was associated with Section 8. So when you go to Section 2.2, you can see that, hey, in conducting rent reasonableness, it says that the PHA, or the Public Housing Authority, must determine whether the rent to the owner is a reasonable rent in comparison to rent for other comparable unassisted units. This means that you can't charge more rent to somebody simply because they are a voucher holder, right? So obviously size and unit type matters, but typically you don't see 4-bedroom apartments being built. So these 25 units are very likely to be 4-bedroom single-family homes. So that makes this a comparable unit. So we'll put in $1,350 here for our rent and $1,350 here for B16 for our rent. For our furnishing, I would want to say that we probably don't have much to do here in the rehab calculator. So typically, I always set aside $1,500 for the roof in case there's any issues with the roof that I cannot see. In row 46, I got some money set aside for landscaping to keep it nice and pristine so I don't get any code violations while we're getting a rent ready. For painting, this property looks like it's fully painted. I don't need to do any flooring work. Now, for my bathroom, I always typically try to replace the toilets. So there's 2 bathrooms there. So I'll replace 2 toilets with high pressure flush toilets because I like to reduce any chances of clogged toilet calls. Every single time you send someone out there, it's probably $200. I have high pressure flush toilets at my properties, and I've never gotten to clogged toilet calls. So I'm trying to minimize any chances of getting a clogged toilet call that might drain my time, my energy, and cost me $200 to send someone out there anyway. So that's me trying to get ahead of it. And that's it for my renovations. So all in all, that's about $3,500 for renovations right here, and that goes into B6. That's where it flows into. $1,350 for rent in B16. In property taxes, I'm going to get right from my Redfin page. Obviously, you should verify with any sort of county assessor records, but it's estimating $42. Little low, so I'm going to add 20% premium to it, multiply by 1.2, make it $50. I think 42 is even a little low. For insurance, it says right here that the estimate for insurance is $97. So I want to multiply that 1.2 because I'm assuming that a investment property is going to be assumed and considered as a more risky investment. So that's why I'm taking the $97 there, which is typically meant for a primary residence property. So I multiply 1.2 by adding a 20% premium so that I can get a little bit more conservative with my insurance estimates. Obviously, you should still get a insurance quote before you close on a deal. So just be mindful of that. Now, going to my next set of expenses. I got 10% right here in B32 set aside of my rents. 10% of my rent set aside for big CapEx items, big replacement items, maintenance. It could be landscaping. It could be HVAC maintenance. It could be you just setting aside money every single month, right? So let's say you get a roof bill, like which I got. A roof repair was about $13,500. A roof repair is going to cost $13,500. And if you didn't set aside $135 every single month for 100 months, then you would find yourself probably really unprofitable because you overestimated your profitability because you underestimated your expenses. That's something that you should not do. That's something you got to be very wary of, especially if someone teaches you to underwrite with no maintenance, because you know the HVAC is going to get replaced someday, right? I just spent $3,500 on parts for our air conditioner a couple weeks ago. It's a real repair. You got to fix all these stuff, okay? And now for property management, I got 10% for my property management. I got 5% for my vacancy. So that all in all leaves a total of about $157. Let me go ahead and showing you the rest of these numbers. In F19, I got 25% for my down payment. So my down payment amount in E19 is going to equal to my asking price in B4 multiplied by my down payment percentage in F19 to get to 31.25K. I had 2.5% for closing costs, $35 for my renovations. Over to the right-hand side where I'm estimating how much I'm financing, in case 6 is going to equal to my asking price, B4, minus my down payment amount in E19, minus any other loans that I might have outstanding or other liens, but we don't have any in this situation. So my financing amount here is 93.75K. If I am analyzing this deal, assuming I am renting out the property I'm getting a mortgage on a DSCR loan, a debt service coverage ratio loan at 8%, I would be cash flowing a total of $158, which equals to a 5% return. Now let's assume I bought this property at $125,000 with a rehab estimate of about $3,500, 25% down, 8% interest rate. And that's how you note down all the different scenarios that you can apply to your analysis to figure out what set of price and what set of terms will make this a deal, quote unquote. All right. Now watch what happens to my cash and cash return number as I lower my asking price. I'm simply showing you all the work you can do to play around with the different levers and how you can turn this into a deal. I'm not saying 10% cash and cash is a return that everybody should do. All right. It's not investment advice. I'm not soliciting any investments on this call. But if you have your own return criteria, then this is how you mess around with the price in the set of terms to make it meet your criteria. So you can be objective in how you analyze the deal and not get all emotional about it. So if you load as $100,000, now all of a sudden it's 11.44. So if my target is 10%, my max price that I want to pay for this property is $105,000. assuming else everything else stay constant, because I can get a 9.9% return. 9.9. This is going to be $1,350 for rents, $268 a month for cash flow, $105,000 is the purchase price, $35 rehab, 25% down, 8% interest rate. Now, let's say you qualify for a loan that has lower interest rate, or simply because you're using your W-2 wages to guaranteed income, your tax return, not a asset-based loan, or the spreads between the 10-year yield and the mortgage rates have gotten brighter, right? Because historically, mortgage rates are doing a slow dance with the 10-year treasury bond yield. And historically, your 10-year treasury bond yield and your mortgage rates is usually a 1.5 to 2% spread. Last 2 years, I mean, we've gotten up to as high as 3% between the 10-year yield and the mortgage rate. So that big move has already happened, right? You can see a lot of mortgage rates come down a lot already because of the 10-year yield coming down a significant amount and the spread getting more narrow. So this big leg up has already happened. So don't wait on the sidelines too much longer, right? Don't think there's going to be another huge break in interest rates unless there is deterioration in the labor market. All right, so now if I go to 7%, see what happened to my cash and cash return number? It just went a little bit higher. So what does that mean? Well, it probably means that I'm now willing to pay more than $105,000 because my interest rate environment is more favorable. So at 7% now, this went up to 11.9%. So now I might be willing to pay $113,000. Boom. So at $113,000, this deal still works. So because of how much interest rates have jumped, this is still a deal at $113,000 because this is still yielding a 9.8% return. And that's because we have a $35 rehab with a 25% down and 7% interest rate. So hopefully that helps you all understand the different levers you can pull to make this a deal. And you guys want to copy the spreadsheet, just go to affordablehousing.io, go to the Get Deal Analysis tool, put in your name, your email, your phone number. That's the fastest way for you guys to get a copy of the spreadsheet. And my hope is that you copy my homework, right? Analyze the same deal I analyzed today. This is a deal that's right on the market. Use the same spreadsheet and then put it on your own YouTube channel and find one thing to explain better than I did, one thing to say better than I did. And that is how we all get better together. That's how we get more confidence in that we know what we're doing. And if someone ever asks you, hey, why do you think this is a deal? Well, you can show them your YouTube channel and say, hey, I know this is a deal because I've been looking at deals for the past 360 days and they've all not been deals. And imagine the level of consistency that they might have in terms of respect for you, that you actually went live every single day for a whole year in a row, never made excuses. Might that make your partner feel a little bit more confident in you? I certainly hope so, right? You're not meant to get thousands and thousands of views. Just do the work, stay consistent, and let's do it together. All right. I hope you all have an amazing Tuesday. I hope you all have an amazing time with your family and friends today, because that's what life is all about. And I'll see you all tomorrow for day 361. Have a good one, everybody.